So let's just open on the opening weekend of the WSL. All sorts of surprises. Chelsea got beaten, Man City got beaten. What did Emma Hayes?
Beaten.
A lot of surprises.
Yeah.
I think we would say out of that weekend. You know, Emma Hayes saying that. What did she say? Chelsea couldn't
hit a
barn door. You know, your thoughts, your reflections on that opening weekend.
What, individual games or right? Okay.
The overall league.
Yeah, I think overall, everybody involved in women's football or the wider world would probably have been really surprised at some of the results. I think the expectation would largely be that Chelsea would win, that Man City would win, that Arsenal would win. Arsenal did win, but obviously the other two didn't. I think where Man City are concerned, and this is, you know, credit. I watched that game. I thought Aston Villa were very good. They're really good, really good game plan. But I think Man City very new. A lot of new players, and it looked like they were trying to play exactly the same way with different players, and it just didn't work for them. I still think they've got an abundance of talent in that squad. I think probably a bit more time. They may have to find a different way of playing. I think Kira Walsh, I think everybody will now look at it and go, God, what a big player she was for them. And such a talent, and to replace her is going to be quite a challenge. You know, Lucy Bronze gone, Georgia Stanway gone. They're big players and that have served the club quite well. So I think very new. They tried to play the same way, and they're not the same players. So I thought that was a bit challenging for them. But as I said, credit to Villa. I thought they were very, very good, very well organised, and I think Daly obviously made a huge difference for them in scoring 2 goals. So. They looked a bit fragile, Man City, if you compare them to Man City of old. And Aston Villa took advantage of that. And I think Chelsea, I saw most of that game, not all of it. They were not... It appeared that Pernille Harder was in the starting. I don't know whether she got injured in the warm-up. And I think that sometimes can throw a team. I don't know whether that had a part to play in it. But they just didn't gel in the way that we know Chelsea perhaps can. A lot of unforced errors, balls given away. I think Liverpool, again, really well organised. A low block 5 at the back made it very difficult. And the penalties, 3 penalties in the game. I think the first penalty for Chelsea, I think, yes. I think the second one against Millie Bright, I would actually question. It looked like she couldn't do anything with her arms, and you know, I think you could see it on the TV reel that she was like, what am I supposed to do? So it's a bit unfortunate, but on the day I don't think Chelsea played as well as perhaps we all know they can. So it'd be interesting to see how both sides come back into it this weekend. Was that very long and very detailed?
Well, that's okay. But let's have a look at your own performance. Mm-hmm. I know you spoke to the media after the defeat to Arsenal on Friday, so I won't go over old ground. But how have you taken aspects of that performance into training this week?
You can go over old ground because I'm going to go over it. Yeah, I must say, I thought, you know, 7 minutes into the game, it was very, very unlucky, very harsh. I thought the initial ball over the top was offside, clear as day. We appealed it, we lost the appeal. But I must say I was very proud of the way that we ran and we ran and we ran and we ran and we had a good go. I think it's quite a tough ask when you're playing 11v11 against Arsenal, let alone 10v11. So very proud of the players. They're absolutely exhausted. We've got a very small squad because of injuries. And I think we've just tried to take the positives out of that game. The fact that we ran, we were well organised, we had a go, we didn't cave, we just got tired against a very good side. I think they recognise it, our players recognise it. And they know they've just got to regroup and get on with it. And that's what they've been doing this week.
And those who are new to this league, you've got a number of new signings, you've got a number of players who are new to the WSL. How did they respond?
Positively. I think we were all very positive, even though we know they had how much percentage of the ball, how many shots on target, how many. It could have been far worse. By that I mean they could have scored more goals. We had a couple of very good chances, a bit unfortunate. But I think they recognised that they can put a shift in against a very good side. I think they know that they can organise themselves very well. They can do the things we're asking them to do. And they're all prepared to have a go. And I can't ask for much more than that.
So looking ahead to Reading this Sunday, I mean, no game is easy in this league. You know, you can play top of the table and win. You can lose against the bottom. No game's easy. But looking ahead to Reading, they also lost 4-0 at the weekend. So we're not heading into the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, for example, this weekend. You must feel that being at the Amex, hopefully in front of a big crowd, a team like Reading is a better team to face than, say, an Arsenal or a Chelsea.
I definitely think this weekend on that Amex pitch, the size of the pitch is bigger than what we're used to playing on. They play on that size every week, so in terms of distances, they'll be used to that. We've managed to train on sort of our show pitch, which is the same size as the Amex, which is really good. But I think it presents an opportunity. A team that are, you know, not top of the table, we're pretty close, I would say. So it presents an opportunity, and they will be saying exactly the same thing. So for us, we're you know, the performance team for team will be a lot more even than it was against Arsenal, even if we had 11 players on the pitch against Arsenal. So we see it as an opportunity to gain something out of the game.
And very important, isn't it, to put on a good show for the fans, some of whom could be coming to the Amex for the first time. I mean, I know there was a missed opportunity for obvious reasons for that big opener at the Amex, but this, surely you'd be hoping for a good show this weekend for the fans.
Yeah, I'm hoping that those people that were going to come to the opening game will want to come to this game, and I'm hoping that you know that other people, different weekend, might have the opportunity to come along and support the girls. I think it really helps the girls. It drives them on. They want to put on a show and you know, show those people that come and support that they can play. It's a good product to watch. So yeah, we want them to show up and support the girls. And
how is the squad going into this weekend? Have you got any injury I know there has been some injury concerns
we had a lot
already.
Of injuries, but and we kind of like every session we're like, oh yeah, you're right. So yeah, everybody's fit and healthy so far. We've got some long-term injuries. We've got someone who's had COVID. We are very light, but the ones that trained today all got through it. We've got one more session before the weekend, so hopefully we'll definitely be able to field a team, put it that way.
And just a note on Rebecca. Just a note on Rebecca Stott. I know she's had surgery on an ankle injury. I mean, it's been so tough for her, hasn't it? The return to the WSL. I mean, she's recovered from a very serious illness, managed to get herself back fit to play, and yet this has happened. It's a double blow really for her, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. She was actually playing, it's an ankle injury, she was playing with it and nothing. She was strapping it up, taking all sorts of medication. We just, that was when she was playing for her old team. We just thought, look, we need to just investigate this to make sure it doesn't get any worse. And unfortunately, in order for her to play sensibly going forward, it was seen that the best thing to do was operate, and that's what they did. She was happy with that. It's been a tough journey for her, but she's super positive, really happy, enjoying it. I think the fact that she wanted to come back and play for Brighton says something about the club, something about her teammates, but she is really progressing well. She walks around certainly with a smile on her face. I think the first week, first couple of weeks, she was a little bit struggling, as you would do when you're told that you're going to be out for a while. But certainly in the last few days, she's in and around it. She's smiling. She's off the crutches. She's out of the boot. She's able to do things now that gets her back on track to play again, which is really important.
And no time frame on that, I assume, at the moment?
No, it's always worst case scenario. So, will it be this side of Christmas? Probably not.